rocket like rocket fuel.
And we're about 5 miles northwest of downtown Tampa at beautiful Raymond James Stadium near Florida's Gulf Coast. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Carolina Panthers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a toss. This is McCaffrey. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
20. Right there.
Newton on 3rd down. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual-type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Ready, boy, 25. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Watch the pass, watch the pass.
On play action, Winston going for it all. Mike Evans there to make the grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Let's go, let's go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. It kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Mike spot 9, Mike spot 9.
Following the interception, Winston. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder, and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
The former LSU Tiger Dante Jackson on the stop.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Winston, a handoff. This is Jones. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and short yardage, Winston. He's got Evans. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans with his second touchdown in this opening quarter as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Looking to throw on second down. Newton. And they get to Newton and take him down for the sack. Carl Nassib coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So now Cam leads the Panthers up following the sack. Carolina facing 3rd and long.
In your face.
Gun.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
A shotgun snap for Newton. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on the punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at the 23. Skirts by him at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Jameis to throw it. And this will be incomplete. physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Winston. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out.
A minimal gain as we tick down inside of a minute remaining in the opening quarter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. He don't know no better. Kill. Hey! Show it in.
On second down, McCaffrey. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Hey, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball.
13-0 is the score after one on EA Sports.
What's that? Hey! You're not ready.
Throwing on third down, Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Devin White in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to fourth down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. That'll go for only 17 yards on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Yo. Right there. 54, right there. 54, Mike. You can't block me. Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
Now Winston. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. On the counter, here's Jones. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Ready. Slack, what is that? Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Come on. Wait. Right there. 54, right? Echo. Wow.
From the gun, Winston. He's going to look deep for Perriman. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now this throw caught left side, and he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Panther first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
I got you, Pop. Hey! 54.
Out of the gun, Newton. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. He's got his man on the crossing route. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Now here's the Panthers special teams unit to try a field goal for 3. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick is good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the 29, Winston, caught by Jones. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Looking for Perriman there. He's got him. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
One back in the game. That's Jones, second and goal.
What's the run? They're running it.
Here's Winston. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Newton. And a throw right sideline is complete. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Newton now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Newton now to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle. Throwing is Newton. And the pressure gets to him again. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we toss it an hour or so east of here to Orlando, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Again, it's Jones. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Ready, Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Tackles. Green, come see. All right, check. Let's go.
Winston from the gun on third down. And, Jameis intercepted a third time. Picked up by James Bradbury. And he will score. Touchdown, Panthers.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Point after, right down the middle. And that will get them one closer. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. The third quarter has not been kind to them. After they built that lead at intermission, they've seen that lead shrink.
And how much of that is simply execution? How much of that is maybe you lose your edge a little bit because you've got a lead? And you do have to credit the other team some because they've made some adjustments to start to slow them down. Can they find those counters now, those extra plays or plays they haven't run that'll be effective and get them back moving again?
They'll be looking for something here, anything to seize that momentum back. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Brings up second and 11 at the 43-yard line.
Ready. Blue ready. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. All day, dog.
On second and 11 now. Winston. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 19. Winston now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
From the red zone now, Winston. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You've got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a first and 20.
Just like that. Just like that.
Winston now. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. Two extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. Let's go.
To throw, Winston. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. That one good for 17 as they're set up better now for third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
He may try and run for this. For a big guy, Jameis sure can move. Did a nice job there picking up the first down with his legs.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
Watch the whip. Check 31. Check 31. Let's go.
Now Jones. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be second and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The Panthers will go first and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey, watch that. Check.
Back to throw, Newton. And he's got the hook up to Moore. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Come on now, let's go.
9 yards. First down, Carolina.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Push him back. Gun. Mike spot 4. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
From the gun, here's Newton. Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to be set up in the red zone. Right around the 17-yard line.
Ready? Watch 25. Check. Watch 54. Don't get nervous.
Winston now after the fumble recovery. He sets up the screen to Jones. This carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Tampa. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth.
Line 54. And let's get some penetration here. Flip it. Right there. 54. Right there. 54 Mike.
Working out of the gun. Winston. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
One back in the game. That's Jones, 2nd and goal.
Ricky. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Quit talking about it and bring it. Let's go.
Throwing, Winston. And Evans hauls it in. Touchdown, Bucs. Mike Evans with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Bucs capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
The Panthers take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
Now, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Here we go, G. Get off the field. Great.
3rd and 2, Newton. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. The Panthers going for it on 4th. Newton. Going for a right side here. Complete. Touchdown, Carolina. A big play there. 67 yards. And the Panthers, they're able to draw a bit closer. Wow, talk about a big 4th down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it, having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Evans. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now after the touchdown, it's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
Now we always talk about
Mike Evans. He's going to go. The 20, 10, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, 79 yards as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1. Oh, good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Newton on first down. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. Newton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Newton can find it. He lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Newton going to hand it off to McCaffrey. I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17, following the 2 negative plays.
Here we go. 20. Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run.
To throw is Newton. And that is incomplete. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game, and that was a big talk both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them holding them under 200 today.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Delta. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. Hey, man. Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
Here we go on 4th. Newton looking again for Thomas. This time complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll go again to Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuck that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And to the 49-yard line, but no further, and obviously he is well short of the first.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a 1st down.
They'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
11 yards and a Panther first down. Back to the ground on first. It's McCaffrey. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football, where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you